Welcome to the Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun.
We really didn't do much, you know? We did go up to the bar once to see Sam working, and it was dead because, nobody's out doing anything. Yeah.
Now, are they worried about COVID down there or no?
No.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if it was the variant got to them and nobody was out, or it just wasn't a time for everyone to be visiting.
Yeah, I told Jay, I was like, wearing masks again sucks. He's like, I've never even heard that word.
What kind of mask? Like a Batman mask?
Yeah, he's like Halloween, you know? But yeah, so they've never worn masks down there. People, the thing I like about Florida is this is just my total opinion. I feel like if you go to Texas and wear a mask, they're going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
But in Florida, they don't care. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't, you know? So.
Remember I was going to visit Texas a couple of weeks ago, but then the real bad storm stopped me from going.
Yes.
I went to go check on the map to see where I was going.
Yeah.
And it was all in the red. So they had mandatory masks. So they do know that they're supposed to wear it down there, but maybe in only certain parts. Obviously, Texas is a big state. So
I totally walked into the gas station this morning, not even thinking.
Oh, I know we're on mask mandate.
I didn't
now.
wear my mask, and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, well, some people have them on, some people don't. You know, so.
You know, I noticed that yesterday. I went to get some soap and had to return something at Ulta, and half the people were wearing it and half weren't. But the signs are back up saying, we strongly recommend that you wear a mask in here, or however they want to word it.
I know on Monday, because Monday was the day it went into effect, because before that it was only Cook County. And then Monday they were like, nope, everywhere in Illinois. So I'm walking through the store on Monday and I'm like, you catch people's eyes while you're walking through.
That's all you have because you can't see the rest of their face.
Yeah. Well, I started laughing because this lady's walking past in front of me and she just kind of caught my eye and she goes, oh, and slaps her mouth and she goes, I don't have my mask on. She goes, that's why everybody's staring at me. And I was like, I didn't even notice. You're so used to just some people wearing them and some people not. I don't even notice anymore.
I did that last year towards the end of the year. I walked in, I started scanning, and the gentleman that was by the register was staring at me, and I'm like, he either thinks I'm hot or I'm weird looking, what's going on? And then I looked at him like, I don't have a mask on. He starts dying laughing. He goes, I love when people do that. It makes my day. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He goes, just finish up and get out of here. I'm like, okay.
And I feel so bad for the employees. I was talking to this one lady at one of my stores that I talk to all the time. Me and her, we'll usually talk for a good 15 minutes when I get there. And she said Friday was so bad. So I guess maybe it was over the weekend it went into effect, whatever. But, because that's Cook County. So it was already in effect.
For all of Illinois, it was Monday. Yes, but, it was already.
So the store I was in Cook County. So they've been on it for a week now. And she's like, people are fighting and they're arguing.
Gosh.
And I'm like, what the hell? We have to go through this again. I'm so over it. I hate this place.
I had to jump off social media again this past weekend because people were asking one simple question. Someone asked, does anyone know of a dentist that has a team that's fully vaccinated? They didn't explain why. You shouldn't have to explain why.
Right.
I looked at it, 392 comments, and all of them are like, oh, good luck finding a dentist that are fully vaccinated. And, oh, you mean the fake vaccine? People are mean to each other. I don't care what I don't care if you're for it, against it, with mask, without mask. We talked about this before. I could care less.
I could
just
too.
Be nice to each other.
Yeah.
We all have different opinions. We all have different lives that we lead.
Right.
Just be nice.
I saw, of course, I'm going to bring up TikTok because it cracks me up. And it said, what did you learn during the pandemic? And this person said, I learned that there's a way more likely chance of people hiding a zombie bite than I ever thought. You can't ask me to see my zombie bite. That's violating my HIPAA. This is a free country. You can't ask me if I've been bit by a zombie.
I'm fairly certain that in that same post that I was just talking about, that people brought that up. Oh, my goodness.
So stupid. Hey, guys, everybody, just for a little information, which I know everybody who listens is very, very smart, so they already know this.
Yes.
them asking for your vaccination card and you presenting it to them is not breaking any HIPAA laws. HIPAA is for your doctor to keep it a secret from everybody else. That prevents them from releasing your information to anybody else. You are allowed to show your information.
So we have some. I don't know if it's true or not. I have no idea.
It is.
I'm going to believe you because you watch TikTok.
It is.
So we have some concerts coming up. And
I know.
they, here's the reason why I got off of social media. I think I say that every week.
Yeah.
Summerfest, we're going to Summerfest.
Yeah.
And they just announced, 10 days ago that you have to prove your vaccination with your card.
Right.
Or you have to prove that you had a test and it's negative.
Yeah.
And once again, thousands and thousands of comments saying, well, it's going to be the lowest attendance rate, ever because I'm not going. Okay. You know what?
Bye.
I bet you're going. I bet you're going.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling.
So
I'm going.
I saw this guy was taking his kid to college and they had to show like a negative test, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he changed the wording on it. Instead of it saying non-COVID, I don't know what it said. But it was like, it said pregnancy instead, not pregnant, And all the people like looking at him were like, oh, yep, okay, be on your way, like, because they're probably just so like,
oh, yeah.
After looking at 4 million of them. They're not reading it.
So when we met with Paul, when he was here, Paul from Produce, remember how he had to speak to people about wearing their masks?
Yes.
And then he was like, yep, go ahead. Can you imagine, I'll just use Summerfest as an example, being those people saying, show me your stuff, and people are not.
You couldn't pay me enough to do that. The one lady we're talking about at the store, she was like, I can't believe all these concerts are happening and this and that. And I said, you know what? I feel like I give it beginning of October. We're going to be in lockdown again. They're getting this last bit of stuff done, and we're going to be in lockdown again.
I hope not, because I have a concert in October and November. I love live music. It is my favorite thing to do ever. Doesn't matter what kind of live music. Maybe not country, but
no country thunder for you?
No, never been. But it's just for me. Let's just keep these artists making money.
Yeah.
So I'll do whatever it takes. And that's kind of my outlook on it. I'm not going to bitch about anything. My outlook on it
is like, I don't care about the artists. They could starve to death. They have billions of dollars. So.
Okay. Because I keep going to all the concerts.
I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay if they take a couple of years off, Maybe they could buy a smaller house. They'll be fine.
Yeah, right? Let's get a couple artists on here. We'll see what they
Give
say.
Give up their third yacht. They'll be fine.
So right before we started recording, I was mentioning that, when you have a new hire, I was at a plant last week and she said that she had hired 40 people. But then how do you train them all at one time? You have to do it
you can't babysit
in
them
waves
all
of 5.
day.
Right. So we also have a new hire. And I've been meeting with this person. And I thought that I had a plan, like I created a great playbook and we're going to go through it. And I just had one of those, I'm sure you can relate and everyone that can listen. I just had an off day.
Yeah.
And so I'm really trying to be excited about what we do. And I'm going to show you everything. And nothing was right. I halfway through the hour meeting.
This is where we eat lunch. Just kidding. It's a conference room. I forgot the lunchroom's over this way.
Well, especially in my office, it's just ginormous.
Yeah.
So that was like, let's go around this way, and okay, here's the garden center,
it's a dead end.
and oh look, we're on the roof. It was like one of those, I was just acting like I knew what I was doing.
Oh, that's.
But
funny.
yeah, I was halfway through the call, and I actually just took a deep breath and thought to myself, I am not doing well today. It just was one of those things. So I'm just curious if you've ever had that. You just go to train someone and you're just not feeling it.
I mean, it's not even necessarily training anybody. I have off days all the time. What did I Snapchat this morning? I'm like big potato energy today.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
I was such a bag of shit today, but I still I worked my ass off. And then I drug my ass home oh my God.
Yeah.
Just driving took it all out of me today. And then I still had to go to work for 9 hours,
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I even talked to someone in a meeting today and he started off with, you ever just have those days?
Oh God.
He's like, I cannot get motivated today.
Yeah.
He's like, I am just staring at the screen, listening to music.
Yeah.
And this gentleman is a director.
Yeah.
So, and he's just he's just being transparent, saying
Yeah.
it's a rough day for me today.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I keep watching the news and I have all this other stuff to do. So, tomorrow's going to be busier.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to kind of do stuff.
feel
And it
like
made me feel
that's-
better
yeah,
because I just
'cause
had
everybody
that
has
day.
them.
Everyone
Yeah,
has those
everybody
days.
has them.
But when you're going through it, you're like, oh my gosh.
the
And then I was,
worst.
in the middle of training this person. I'm just like, man, are they really grasping what I'm saying? Am I really getting that energy?
You're like, this lady don't even know what she's talking about.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, oh, I'm going to share this, and then it wouldn't share, and then
Oh,
I'm going to
God.
open up this, and then it wouldn't open,
Oh,
and then
God.
so, and then I would realize that something would come through, and I'd be like, oh man, I totally forgot about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
you know what? I probably said 3 times. Let me back up here real quick, and then like start the story again.
Let's circle back.
Yeah,
to
let's
that.
circle back to this real quick because
For the last year, with a lot of people working at home, there's been a lot of those days, right?
yeah,
I totally get the introvert. Like, I would love to stay home, but I know that I would never get anything done at home. So I have to go out and work. If I had to sit in my closet in an office, I would just be like, I'll do that later. I have to have my list of things to do.
for sure.
Go out and do them, get them done, end my day, So
You know what I have learned, which might help other people, is that I have my Google Calendar.
yeah.
I add in an hour of what I'm going to work on.
yeah.
Like I'm going to work on this division. I will put that in my calendar so it lets me know.
It
It
alerts
notifies.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it notifies me in 10 minutes you're working on this division. I'm like, ugh. So I either
Yeah.
move it to the
Yeah.
next day if I'm still working on something else, or I say, all right, we're going to focus on this
Yeah.
real quick, and I
Yeah.
do it for the hour. Or there's calls. I think I Snapchatted you.
Yeah.
All
Oh my
the
God,
calls
I saw
that we
your
had.
calendar. It was crazy. I was like, oh my God.
But that's like the extreme of,
Yeah.
working on everything plus phone calls, plus please don't book because I'm going to be working on
Yeah.
this, and just explaining, because we're very project oriented. So it's
Yes.
like, what project are you working on today? Well, I had like 5 of them today.
That's
so, I mean, it
crazy.
ended up being good where I felt like it was a busy day, but I'm pretty exhausted from it.
Yeah.
I didn't take a break. I didn't take
Mentally.
lunch,
You didn't even take lunch. You're probably starving right now.
No. I had my squash from yesterday. I made it.
Oh, God.
I'm dieting. I told
I
the
had
whole
some
team.
squash.
I had some squash with salt and pepper. So I told the team today.
I hope you
I
put
said,
butter on
guys,
it at least."
I'm dieting. It sucks. I'm hungry. And they were all on mute and just stared at me. I was like, I wanted to know what they were all thinking.
That's
So,
so funny. I
was
know.
like-
We snacked a lot while I was in Florida.
Yeah.
That's what we do because we drink a
Yeah,
lot.
you don't want to have big meals, right?
Right.
Because then you're going to go out.
Right.
Yeah.
So me and Jay, he says, okay, this new restaurant just opened up over here. They have clams. I want to go get clams. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's go over here. So I had been drinking Palomas all day,
Mhm, I
which
saw that.
are freaking delicious.
What? Yeah. What are they?
Okay. Neighbor Eric introduced me to Palomas.
Oh, hi, Eric.
So it's called the poor man's margarita also.
Oh, okay.
This is the cheap way to make them. It's not like technically the correct way to make them,
Okay.
but this is how we made them. So, cup of ice, pour a shot of tequila on it. You squeeze 1 whole fresh lime, fill it with squirt, and then shake salt on top of it.
Squirt pop.
Squirt pop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gosh,
So,
I haven't heard that in years.
squirt, right?
Yeah.
Or 50-50. Remember
Oh.
50-50? You
No.
don't remember that? It
No.
was like a grapefruit soda.
Oh, red and green. Red and green. Is that the?
I don't know. Was it red and green? Green and yellow, I think. Well,
Oh.
that's squirt. Squirt's green and yellow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Once again, I'm
But
wrong.
Anyways, they're freaking delicious. So we were like drinking those all day, So we get to this restaurant and I was like, I'm gonna stick with like the margarita theme,
Yeah.
So I see this and it's a what kind was it? It was a pineapple margarita,
Oh,
I think,
amazing.
but it had jalapeno in it.
Yes.
It was so spicy.
Old fashioned
And, like,
all over
It
again.
gave me instant heartburn. I was like, oh my God, Jason. I'm
Oh.
like, this is so spicy. And he's like, why the hell did you get a drink with jalapeno in it? So I was like, cool, I'm going to cool it down with my coconut shrimp, right? And I like take a shrimp and dip it in this sauce and take a big bite. And I'm like, the sauce is spicy too. Everything was spicy that day.
Oh my gosh.
I think we had like chili cheese dip.
Were
for
you just like
lunch, too.
sweating with a
Oh
fever?
my God. I was like, I will finish a drink. I am not dipping my shrimp in any more of that sauce. I will not eat that sauce.
Speaking of seafood,
Yeah.
my sister-in-law and I were talking this past weekend about
Wait.
where we don't shop for seafood.
Wait, the sister-in-law that I know down in Florida?
No.
Oh, okay.
So the one around here.
Oh, okay.
And we were talking about how when you walk up to a case and you can smell it.
Oh, I know.
There's a few places that we won't shop
Yeah.
because you can smell it.
You know, and I mean, I feel like it's okay to have a little bit of fishy smell. But when it's like so overwhelming, you're just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to get anything.
Right?
I hate when you walk into a restaurant, like a seafood
And
restaurant.
you smell it.
That's like Red Lobster. Like, we thought Red Lobster was fancy when we were kids because we were poor as shit.
It was the only thing that was out there.
Right. You know, for like a median income family.
And plus we live in the middle of the States and not buy any water.
That's one reason I want to live like near a coast,
Yes.
you know, is fresh seafood. But yeah, Red Lobster always like smelled like the nastiest fish to me. Like they left a pot of crab legs.
It's like the hooker of
overnight.
seafood restaurants.
It totally is. It totally is. I've gone to some fancy places before too. And we
Yeah.
get like surf and turf with lobster tail. And I'm just like, no, I can't eat it. Like, because like you said, we live nowhere near water. So
like how far did it travel to get here right now?
Right.
We went out to a place, it's around here somewhere. And I remember that they brought all our plates out and they had to bring one more plate for Steve. And as they were bringing it and she went across the table to get it to him,
Ew.
you could smell it.
Ew.
And he, you know how he is, right?
Yeah.
Very, very picky.
Yeah.
He looks at all of us at the table and he was like, is that my plate that smells? And I was like, absolutely.
What did he have? You don't remember?
It was just like, I think
Fish?
just, fish fry Friday, you know,
Oh,
and there was
sick.
something bad on his plate. I said, do not eat that. Now, usually I give him a hard time. I'm usually
Right.
like, it's fine.
It's fine.
No, it was bad.
You'll be shitting your brains out later. It's fine.
And I remember the waitress kind of pushing back a little bit.
Really?
Like he went to go hand it back to her and he said, there's something's wrong here. Like
Yeah.
we can smell it. And so she was like, what? No. And she's like putting it by her face.
Stop
This
it.
was years and years ago, right?
Right.
And she's
Before
like, no,
COVID.
I don't smell it. And he was like, it's probably because it's in the air and you're constantly smelling it. I
Yeah.
am not eating this.
Yeah.
So then they let him sit for
They
like
didn't even offer him
10,
anything else?
15, I remember this, 20 minutes. And he's looking around and we're just like all kind of waiting. And we're like, now what do we do? Like they purposely made him wait for
What the
complaining
hell?
that he thought his fish smelled. So then they bring it back and it doesn't smell and he's afraid to eat it because he's
Right.
like,
Did
now
they
what do
spit
it
in
ruined.
it?
And
Yeah.
honestly, not that, you know, we don't really go out very often
Right.
for fish fry. So it's kind of a treat.
Right.
It kind of ruined the whole night.
Yeah, because you
and
can't
it was
fuck around with bad fish, man. That shit'll put you in the hospital.
It's right. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. But yeah, I remember. But that was many, many years ago. Nowadays, they're like, oh, no problem. You know, no, everyone's so
I've
cordial
never,
now.
you know,
and-
I've been a waitress, and anytime somebody, I mean, obviously you got your rude customers that would leave.
yeah, and we are not rude
they would
customers.
leave 2 bites left on the plate and be like, I didn't like it. Okay, well,
Yeah.
if you would have told me before, I'd have made you something else. But you ate it
mhm.
all, so I'm not taking it off your bill, you know?
Yeah.
But like if, you know, if there was a kid and they were like, the parents made them try something new and they didn't like it, I'm like, I'm firing up a cheeseburger
Burger for ya.
burger for you, you know, or some chicken tenders or something like,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm
Yep.
not going to charge you for that dish. I'm going to charge you for the cheeseburger, you know? So,
Mhm.
but yeah.
You know, I'm gonna give a shout out to Champs in Lake Geneva.
I like that
so
place.
Julia went up there to sell her earrings at the Venetian Festival. I'd
Yes,
mentioned that.
yes.
And I was in charge of getting lunch because she couldn't leave
That was
her.
a
right?
great job for you.
Yeah, it was an excellent job for me because I went to Champs and had a Bloody Mary
Yeah.
while I waited for lunch. And she said, she went to go hand me the bill and she said, I didn't charge you for the drink. It took too long for the fries.
Oh my God.
I tipped her good.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I'm going to tip you how I would have and then pay for my drink and then
Exactly.
give you an extra couple bucks.
That's
too.
exactly what I did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when people did that. You know what? And me and Sam were talking about that because she's like, you know, you get these regulars, so you buy them a couple drinks, and then all of a sudden they want free shit, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But, you know, and then they start not tipping. So now you want me to give you free shit and you're not going to tip me? Fuck off.
So do you think I get a little bit like airheady when I drink? Okay, we've talked about this with our
we
bestie.
know. We come home and we're like, we spent all of
our
money.
Yeah, like I don't bring cash, but then I still do want to bring cash because
Yeah.
then sometimes we go to places that it's better to pay with cash instead of card, and so I get a little dippy. So I've gotten home. And like looked at what I spent, and I'm like, did I really just drop like $200 at a local bar? So I'm like the over tipper.
I know.
But so then my question is, those that start drinking and they think they gave enough, are there under tippers as
No.
well that don't realize it?
No.
Or are they under tippers even when they don't drink?
They
I
always
gotcha.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would never let anybody get away with saying, oh, I thought I did tip you. I mean, if they usually tip and they forgot one time, maybe they truly did forget. But
okay.
No.
Because I'm an over tipper in life, even without drinks, so.
If they only ever leave you $1, that's all they're ever going to leave you. And if they leave you nothing, it's because they spent every dollar they had.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. But how many times have we gotten home and texted each other?
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, you spent $200 because I spent $150 also.
And then the bestie's like, well, I spent $140.
Yeah.
What?
And we're like, what the fuck did we do?
And the bartenders are happy, I'm sure.
And we're like, how come we didn't get no free drinks? What the fuck?
Well, and I'm that kind of person that if I'm with a friend and they're, grabbing a shot or something, I'm like, I got you, I got you, I got you. You know, then all of a sudden it's like, I got you times $200.
That was Johnny. I had to kick Johnny out of the bar. His bar tab would be 2 beers and 30 Jaeger bombs. I'm like, stop buying drinks for everybody. Being in the service industry for so long, that's how you make your money. And I know that's how they make their money. Minimum wage for a bartender is like $5 an hour, if that, you know. I was lucky. I was making like $7 an hour. They were paying me as a manager. Yeah. I'm doing air quotes because, $7 an hour, still under regular minimum wage, you know?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, there's some nights you'd make $200, $300, $400, $500. There's some nights you make 50. Like, what the shit, you know?
Yeah.
You get stuck working a Tuesday night. Nobody's going out on a Tuesday night.
Right.
And then even if you had like maybe pool leagues or dart leagues or horseshoe leagues.
Yeah.
Those guys, they would come in, they would get their free drink, they might order one more, maybe order some food, and then they'd leave you like $2 or $3. And it's like,
gosh, and they were there all night.
Not even worth it, you know? Yeah, it was such a headache, and they'd be so like, hey, you got to take care of me, I have to go back outside and play horseshoes, you know? And it's like, whatever, shut up. Take care of the people that tip me.
I used to play sand volleyball around here, 4-on-4, 6-on-6, and I would only bring... Well, back then I would only bring like $10, and that's all I would spend because
God,
I could.
I
bet years ago I would just get like a beer and a shot. Well, plus I had to drive home too.
Yeah.
But I would play 3 or 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
So if I brought $100 every time, I could be dropping $400 a week. You know.
Yeah.
So I purposely would only bring. I would keep my credit card in the car.
Yeah.
And I would only bring $10 or $20 if it was someone's birthday, and then just one beer, one shot, or whatever before we started playing because it would be too expensive to go out every night.
I used to be on Dart League. And see, my thing was, like, I always ran a tab because I worked at the bar. And then she would just take it out of my paycheck. Yeah. And then I would never have a paycheck. That was the most dangerous thing ever. But, you'd get that, like, perfect buzz, and you'd be, like, so good at darts. And then someone would be like, let's do a shot. And you'd be like, okay. And that would put you over the edge, and then you were shit at darts after that. Like, damn it, one too many shots, and now I suck, But yeah, just so you know, like if you don't get good service at a bar that you go to often, it's because you're not tipping enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good to know. So every time we walk in, it's like our neighborhood place. Everyone says hi.
The one place we go to, they have our drinks on the bar as we were walking in.
Yeah, all right. We're good tippers then. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Be good tippers, guys. You'll get more.
Yeah.
You'll get friendly
it's
vibes.
Worth it. And they'll remember your birthday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you go in and celebrate your birthday, they're going to remember that because you tip well. Yeah. Maybe next year you'll have a cake waiting for you, Well,
I don't know. Do we need to call Abby and Jenna?
Yeah, right? Okay. So, crazy story the other day. I'm at the store. And
I love your crazy stories.
I know. I mean, it's really not that. I say it's crazy.
No,
I
it's
say
crazy.
everything's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. It's really not that crazy.
Sick.
Sometimes it's really crazy. Sometimes you're just like, oh, okay, well, that's normal. I don't know why you think it's crazy. So I'm like, fixing up product in the store, and this woman comes up behind me. I was in like the HBC aisle, so like soap and diapers and, women products and whatever,
Oh, yeah.
And she comes up behind me, and she had a pretty thick accent. Like
Oh.
I'm not sure, what it was. I don't want to even try to guess. It was just a pretty thick accent. And she's asking me she tells me, she's trying to say it, and I'm like, oh, I don't, I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, my daughter just had a baby. This is a really bad, that was a really bad impression of her. But she's saying, my daughter just had a baby, and, the milk is coming out of her boob. She needs, something there. And I was like, oh, breast pads. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never seen those here. I don't know if they have. She's like, I asked over at the pharmacy. They don't even want to fucking help me. Like, she was pissed, And I'm like, okay, well, let's take a look, And I'm looking. I find some. There's like 2 boxes on the bottom shelf pushed to the back.
In the baby section?
And, because it's a grocery store. And it's not a big box grocery store, so they have one aisle.
It was like a little bit of everything, like you said.
Aisle,
okay,
right.
I get it.
One side is soap, shampoo, deodorant.
I get it.
The other side is diapers, tampons.
And breast pads.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
So I'm like, here they are. I'm like, they're totally hidden over here. Here's some. And she's, thank you so much.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to go yell at them. And I was like, oh, okay. So, of course, I'm like, I'm done over there, but I'm like, I'm going to hang out in here. She waited in line for probably like 3 minutes, the pharmacist or whoever.
What?
It wasn't the pharmacist. I don't think it's just like the tech, checking people out. And I could hear the tech talking to a customer. And she said, oh, I'll be right with you, And I feel like that tech, either it was a different one or she didn't remember she was just there asking for that.
Uh-huh.
And the lady gets up there and she goes, I don't understand why you don't want to do your job. They were right over there and some other lady helped me find them. And she must have been like holding them in her hand. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, you tell her, lady. But that's totally not the tech's job. Like the pharmacy tech, I don't feel like that's their job. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've gotten pissed because
I don't think they stock out there. They're
They
familiar
don't.
with the area because they have to walk through it every day.
Right.
And maybe they help.
Yeah.
Because as a matter of fact, I was just at a store. Sorry to interrupt your story.
No, it's fine.
But I was just at a store and someone walked up to the pharmacy and said, can you help me find these vitamins?
Right.
And she was nice enough and said, oh, yeah, I think they're right over here.
Yeah.
And had to go through the 2 doors and go out.
Right.
But I don't know that they stock those.
So
I think that's GM's side.
Right. What pissed me off one time was I got a prescription and it had a nasal spray in it. And I pick up my prescription at the drive-thru and I'm like, isn't there supposed to be 2 things, a pill and a spray? She's like, oh, well, the spray is just over the counter, so you have to come in and get it. You can't fucking go get it for me and throw it in the bag. Are you kidding? Like, my doctor prescribed it, I'm sick. I shouldn't be coming into the store, you bitch.
Yeah.
So that shit would piss me off. But, like, looking for breast pads, I feel like they would know where that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess unless
buying them.
unless you stocked them or ever had to use them, would you really know where they were?
I totally was convinced that they didn't even have them.
Yeah.
Because they have a very small section of, like, baby necessities, compared to, like, big box stores. They have 3 whole aisles of that shit,
Yeah.
These people have one side of one aisle, and it's a small section, so... But, yeah, it was really funny. She totally reamed that lady into it.
Oh, my God. Can you try and, like, explain it to us how she did in her accent?
No, I'm terrible.
So I am terrible at accents.
I'm
terrible at English, but I'm terrible at accents. And when they walk up and start speaking and I can't understand them, I start to sweat.
I know, I feel
like
bad.
I should understand what you're saying.
I know.
I immediately start looking around for anybody. And you know who's really good at translating? Meat managers.
Really?
I'm telling you right now, it happens every time. I will be in the meat department.
Really?
Anyone will come up to me with an accent. It could be small or as strong as you were describing.
Yeah.
And they're trying to tell me and show me a picture, and I cannot understand them. And a meat manager will walk up and be like, yeah, it's aisle 6, halfway down on the right. I'm like, how did you understand that? And they'll make something funny like, it's a coupon. They've been asking me all week. No, they're just good at it. So that must be the area where everyone asks where something is at the back of the store, right? Because that's where meat is. I'm telling you, every time a meat manager saves me. Every time.
Maybe because everybody buys meat, so they're used to listening to the accents.
It very well could be.
Certain cuts of meat.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
And I am terrible.
Because I just had another lady the other day, and I can't even remember what she was asking me for. It was like a fruit or a vegetable. And I'm doing my work. And a lot of times I'm just like, I don't work here.
Yeah.
I say that to people, but I usually say,
it's
I don't
all
work
in the approach,
here,
right?
But I can try to help you. What are you looking for? And she had a very thick accent again. And she's like, I'm looking for this. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, I'm looking for this. Oh, you know what it was? It was carrot juice. She wanted carrot juice. And I was like, okay. I'm like, wait, what kind of juice? And she's like, I already said it's carrot, And I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't understand you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hold on, let me get somebody for you. And I just ran away. Because that lady was going to be mean to me. I could tell. She was already kind of mean to me. I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
And it might even be that they're not being mean. They're probably just frustrated that they can't tell you what they're saying.
And she's like, I fucking said it twice already.
Because I had that
It's
happen a couple
carrot
times
juice.
where they were repeating. I'm like, I am so sorry. And they look at me like they're angry, but they're like getting louder, but it still sounds the same even in loud form.
Maybe if I say it louder, she can understand it.
And why is it
not
always
deaf.
something that's like personal, like hemorrhoid cream? You know what I mean? Or breast pads.
And they're like, you put it on your butt when your butt burns? You're like, take some sugar and lube and put it up there.
Argan oil. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
We really need to expand our horizons on some other languages.
Yeah, I need to go to other countries and just live there for a couple months and then maybe. But I always thought that I was good at it, and I can't. I just can't understand. I don't know why. I don't think my mind is open
even
enough.
Spanish, like we should all know Spanish.
Yeah, I can
we
understand
all took
it a
at
little
least
bit.
5th grade Spanish.
Yeah,
we should know the basics.
I took it for a few years. I cannot speak it anymore because I'm out of practice.
Yeah.
But if they do come up and it's every other word, I can understand that just from only being 3 years. But absolutely, I should be better at it and should know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get that. Whatchamacallit.
Yeah, Rosetta Stone or
Thank
something.
You. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It just would help, it would just help. But we visited a plant last week and I could hear the different languages around me. I couldn't pick them out. And I asked the lead, I said, is there a language barrier when you hire someone? She said, no, we have someone on staff here that probably speaks their language or close to it if they're similar.
Okay.
And she said, and then that person will be the trainer.
Yeah.
So, but I could hear it. I could hear Spanish. I could hear like Romanian. I could hear, I don't know. There was a few of them.
That's like when I was in Costa Rica. I heard every language under the sun while I was sitting in a cafe in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Well, you find that in the city stores too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because people are visiting the city. That's the place to go.
You go to a
everyone
store
wants to
near
visit
Chinatown, you're going to hear all that. Or, near, I don't even know what you would call Romanianville. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ukraine Village.
Yeah, Ukraine Village. They have a lot of different languages, and I really wish I at least, perfected one, but I didn't. So just.
Yeah, we haven't even perfected our own.
No.
I say ain't.
Yeah.
Ain't
No,
way.
yeah. No, yeah. Ain't.
Yeah.
Sick.
Stop
it. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
Alpha, beta.
Yeah. Alpha, beta. I don't even know what C is. I'm like cat.
Yeah.
So
dog,
if you ever have
elephant.
to. D
Frank.
is delta. Delta. Frank. I don't even know what E is. I would say elephant.
Everyone's going to yell at us for
E,
being
F.
wrong.
F, I would say
this is
frog.
the wrong episode.
E, F, G, I would say gopher. I think G is like.
I just went to go look up alpha and it put aloha.
Aloha. That's what I would use for A. A is an apple. What is it called? The
Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. It's
No,
so it's the Greek alphabet is what you're talking about. And believe me,
Is it
she has a
like-
point.
It's what the military uses, right?
I
So the military
don't
has
know.
a whole, because like
Eta,
Foxtrot,
Delta. What's a iota?
iota,
Oh, iota.
Iota.
Kappa.
Kappa.
Lambda.
Yeah,
Lambda, lambda,
see?
lambda. That's
Yeah.
from that's the
Oh
sorority
my God, you've
from
seen that movie?
Revenge of the Nerds.
No,
or-
you've seen that movie?
Hello. I watched that movie 100 times when I was little because it was rated R and it was the only one I could watch.
Do the military one.
Oh, okay.
What's the military one on the
Alpha,
phone?
Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo,
Bravo,
Foxtrot, Golf.
Charlie.
Okay, that one I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Hotel, India, Juliet.
Hotel. I would have never thought of hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Lima.
like you're on the
Mike.
phone and you have to like
Mm-hmm.
spell out your email and
Mhm.
they're like, how, you know, because I just say it and I'm like, I'm not going to say my email,
Yeah.
but blah, blah, blah at gmail.com.
You're like
know, and-
Celestial Seasonings at, and they're like, is that Z's, S's, how many E's, right?
And you're like, C as in cat. And then you come up with like, you're looking around like, D
T as in TV.
B's in box. There's a box over there. Okay, box, which could sound like fox, but B
Oh,
doesn't sound like
gosh.
F.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
that's why it's like important to know that. And
Yeah.
like nobody know. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody. Like nobody I know knows that.
Okay,
you know?
we don't know it. Everyone
don't-
else is going, I totally know this. These girls are dumb.
They could do it like forward and backward.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is Z? Zebra.
Zulu.
Zulu. What's X?
X-ray.
That's the only X word I
Whiskey.
can think of.
Victor. Uniform. Tango. Sierra. Romeo. Quebec. Papa.
But see, Sierra could be spelled with a C.
S for Sierra. You're not going to say C for Sierra. You would say S for Sierra.
I
and it
would.
would be like Frank for Frank. No, S. S. I'm saying S. F. No, S for Sierra. Sierra? Right?
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me. And they're like, wait, do it again. Start over again. I'm like, God damn it. Hold on. Let me think of better things. C for cupboard.
So this is me. I'm going to be like, here's my email address. It's Meredith. And they're going to be like, what is it? And I'm going to be like, M for Meredith. E for Meredith. R for Meredith. E again for Meredith. D for Dith. Because I can't ever think of anything.
I know.
T for
What happens to our brain? I don't know either.
I don't know.
I'm like, W as in water bottle.
So my mom was just telling us a story that she is going to get her nursing license
Yeah.
renewed. She's retired, but
Yeah.
feels like she needs to get it,
Yeah,
again.
keep
She
it
took
up.
the year
Yeah.
off. Yeah, she just wanted to. So she said that this woman called and left a message and said, I want you to look up at the website. It's this, to get your
www.
whatever.
Yeah.
And she said, I like icicles. I like popsicles. So something like that. And my mom was like, what? Like,
Is she like, is it I?
yeah. So I told my mom without knowing the whole conversation, like obviously she went on with a story, but I
Yeah.
said, was she saying I for icicles, P for popsicles? Was she saying that?
Yeah.
And my mom's like, I listened to this voice message
Oh my
12 times.
God.
And she said to type in, I like icicles. I like popsicles. And I was like, what? And she goes, and you're not going to believe it. It went to where I needed to go.
Shut up.
I was like, what? I'm like, you got scammed. Like, what is going on here? But she said it true. And then she got another call back and the woman was like, well, you don't want that one because you've been a registered nurse for this
Oh my
long. You want
God.
this one. But in my mind, that's what I was thinking. That's funny that you bring that up because I
That
was
is
like,
so
Mom, are you
funny.
sure she wasn't saying
Yeah.
I for icicles,
Yeah.
P for popsicles, like IP
Yeah,
something or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm telling you,
That
I
is
listened
so
to it. And she's
crazy.
telling us a story. We're just laughing because you just,
Oh
what?
my God.
Like in the search bar, we need you to put. So that reminds me of what you were saying. Like, when you go to spell your name, that's crazy.
C as in Cassie.
Yeah, right? It's like, it's just crazy. I can't, and I
A
usually
as
can't
in
think.
Aperol. S as in
And you never want to
Santikos.
offend, right?
I know.
So if you say like boy@gmail.com, you're like B for beer, but sorry if you don't drink it. Like you want to make sure that it's like, or B for beer. I'm not an alcoholic, I promise. It's like you just don't want to offend either,
Oh, you just only name alcohols.
Yeah.
You're like Jägermeister, Stoli, Tito's.
B for beer, L for liquor. Yeah. T for Tito's. S for Smirnoff.
V for vodka. W for whiskey. That one I know I got right.
Oh, man. What did you guys talk about on the podcast today? How to use the Greek and military alphabet.
With drinks only. P is in Paloma.
Oh, my gosh.
P is in
So how are you
Pandemic
feeling?
Paloma.
Like, it's just a party when you go there, right? So you're feeling pretty good?
Yeah. Like I said, I had a couple days to recover.
Yeah. Catch up on sleep.
Yeah. So I told you we stayed up pretty late on Saturday because we celebrated Jay's birthday that night, and I had brought down corn. I brought down a whole suitcase of corn for him. Because when you move away from Illinois, that's one thing you miss.
Absolutely.
Is Chicago hot dogs, good pizza, and sweet corn.
Yep.
That's like the 3 things. Oh, and Italian beefs. 4 things that he always
And there's only so
misses.
many you can carry in your suitcase, really.
I mean,
Corn.
I flew Southwest and they give you 2 free checked bags. I filled a whole carry-on with corn.
Oh, it's awesome. Can you explain to everyone how you have to explain to the flight or the
because I have
security?
I have done it on my carry-on.
Oh my gosh.
If you fly like American or Delta,
Yeah.
they make you pay for your checked bag. That's what I love Southwest. But so I was like, okay, so this one's kind of heavy. I'm like, it's corn, and she's like, it's what?
The security, right?
Yeah. This was just a chick checking my bags.
Okay.
She's printing my ticket, checking me, and taking my bags.
Oh, okay.
Putting them on the belt so they go at the bottom of the plane.
She's at like the customer service.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's like, it's what now? And I'm like, it's corn.
It's C for corn. Yeah. O for on its way to J. R for really good.
R for Rumplemans.
N for never you mind.
Yeah. So she was like, is it that good? And I was like, girl, you live in the city, don't you? I was like, you need to get out of the city, come up by us, get some corn,
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what's Florida known for? I was like, it made me think. I was like, oranges, I think. And she was like, oh yeah, duh, So she's like, yeah, no, that's fine. But when I had to bring it in my carry-on, I had, so you're allowed like 1 carry-on item and then a personal item.
Yeah.
So I had my suitcase that rolls, my carry-on suitcase. And then I put a dozen ears of corn in my backpack.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just like, lugging a dozen. You don't think it's that heavy. It is freaking
until you have to carry it
heavy.
through security for an hour and wait. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm like, see the first guy. I'm kicking off my shoes, throwing my bags up there. I'm like, is this going to be an issue? This is corn. And he's like, what? And I was like, it's corn. And he's like, yeah, just put it through there.
Yeah.
So I get through security and I'm like gathering my stuff. And I see the chick with my backpack opened.
Yeah.
She's got like the bag of corn ripped open. And you see a picture of it on the x-ray machine. And I'm like, yeah, that's my bag. She's like, this your bag? And I was like, yeah, that's my bag. She's like, what the fuck is it? I don't think these people in the city have ever seen corn not shucked.
Yeah.
Because I bring it full,
full
ears of corn, And I was like, it's corn. I'm like, I'm going to see my friend down in Florida. He really misses corn. She's like, just fucking take it.
Oh my gosh, that's
get out of my line,
funny, Yeah, you holding me up for corn. That's great.
Oh, so funny. So I liked it definitely much better checking my bag and just letting them worry about it.
Yeah.
And I figured it was colder on the bottom of the plane too. So
yeah,
I kept it refrigerated for a while. So yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. So it never fails that every time I go through security, you usually have 5 or 6 lines, right?
Yes.
Where we fly out of.
Yes.
And they're pretty quiet. Like, just get your stuff in the bin, put it through.
Yeah.
It never fails. I pick the line of the security that
Okay.
is loud and yelling.
I did that both ways.
Oh my gosh.
Both ways.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, there was a gentleman in front of me, and, we were both just kind of waiting. And I looked at him and I said, wow, that's really getting annoying.
Yeah.
Because it was like,
Put your stuff in there.
Take your shoes off. Like,
out.
yeah, but you can't it's almost like overwhelming to me because I don't know what it is, but I always get nervous going through
because
security.
You might have a gun.
I might have a gun, and I might
you
have
don't even own.
Yeah,
I do not.
Someone
own any
slipped
guns.
it in my bag. That would be my luck because I don't pay attention ever.
I probably have cocaine on me too. That I forgot.
It's
about.
left over on your
know.
nose from this morning. No, just kidding. But no, seriously, and even with the dogs, they do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're gonna find something. I mean, what are they gonna find? Motrin?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My Benadryl.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Go to sleep, puppy. But it never fails that I get into the loud. And then can we talk about accents? I get behind someone that doesn't understand because they're traveling back home or they're traveling, to other family
from somewhere.
Yeah, and they don't understand, and the person just gets louder, and it makes me
the same
sweat.
thing as them yelling at us.
Yeah,
like maybe if I say it louder, she'll understand.
But
I still don't know what you're saying.
And you think that they're mad, and they're not. They're just doing their job. Once again, it's a job that I probably would never want to do.
No.
Is the security in an airport?
I'm laughing. Of course, the line I pick. I'm just getting ready to go through the machine.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy goes, hold on. And I look and there's 6 elderly people in wheelchairs that they're going to push through before me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? And then it's like,
you couldn't get there 1 second earlier.
And he's asking the first guy, can you walk? And the guy's like, yeah, I can walk. And he's like, okay, well, if you can walk, I need you to walk through the machine.
Yeah.
That guy couldn't fucking walk.
Oh,
I mean, he shuffled
pride, yeah,
for 45 fucking minutes through the goddamn machine.
What? Oh no!
So I'm standing there waiting. Finally, all these people get through, and the guy's like, "All right, come on, next." I go up to the machine. He's like, "Oh, hold on, we have to calibrate it," and I'm like, "Of course,
of course you do."
So this TSA guy standing next to me is talking to this girl on this side of me. They're kind of talking over me.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I thought I was going to be an asshole today. And I was like, I looked at him and I go, well, I'm glad you're not. And he's like, ha, you thought I said asshole, didn't you? And I was like, yeah.
What did he say?
He said something like CSO or something. Or ASO or something.
That's awesome. You should be like, can you spell that for me? A as in
asshole. S as in sasshole. O as in O.
That's awesome.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, I'm just going to walk through my fucking machine now. Get me the hell out of this airport.
Is it calibrated?
Because this is the first time I flew Southwest out of O'Hare, which is a pain in the ass, let me tell you.
Oh.
Because it's, I've talked about how I don't like O'Hare's. When you walk in the front door at O'Hare, you have to immediately go through security.
Yes.
And I hate it. It's like a huge jumble of people. It's every single airline is right there.
They're trying to print their tickets.
Yes.
And then other people just don't know where to go.
Right.
Because if you go a little too far, you have the other gate and, the other airlines. And
it's like 12
it's a little bit
airlines
confusing.
Going through one security checkpoint. You know? So it was nice because you don't get dropped off right there. You go all the way over to the other side of the airport.
Oh.
Because Southwest just started flying out of O'Hare a couple years ago.
Oh.
So, we do the parking and they give you a shuttle bus ride.
Yeah.
They dropped everybody else off. There's these 2 guys sitting in front of me. I go, you guys riding Southwest too? They're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, are you going to Orlando, And they're like, no, we're going to, I think they were going to Fort Lauderdale or something.
Oh, okay.
And I said, oh, okay, cool, And I'm like, what time does your flight leave? Or he said, yeah, I'm getting really nervous. This is taking a long time. And I go, well, what time does your flight leave? And he goes, 12:15. I look at my clock.
Yeah.
It was 11:30.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we talked about you getting ready to go to the airport from the store. Oh, yeah, I'd be nervous too.
Yeah, you guys are cutting it pretty close. I go, luckily, we're all the way over here. It's not 12 airlines trying to get through security.
Yeah.
I go, you might make it. So he goes, well, if I checked in, I can just go straight through security, right? I go, you still need your ticket.
Yes.
Do you have your ticket on your phone? Did you download it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, then you could just go. I go, but don't you have to check these bags?
Oh my
they
gosh.
were like big bags.
Yeah, right. They were staying for a while.
Yeah. And he was like, fuck,
Oh.
I'm like, Well, I go when the bus stops, you guys fucking go
Run.
for it. I have plenty of time.
Yeah.
My plane doesn't leave till 2. It's only 11.
We were talking about that. You were a little nervous
I was
because
so
you never
nervous.
left in the afternoon before, so you worked.
I always,
and then you went to
yes.
the airport.
I always get like 5 a.m. flights.
Yes, same.
I like
because
the
it's just
first
like
flight
that
out.
automatic. I'll get up at 2. I'll have my coffee. I'm there by 3.
Yep.
And then I got 2 hours.
Yep. And
Hardly
I like,
anybody's there.
Because if flights start getting delayed and you're at 1 o'clock and flights have already been delayed
oh
for
yeah,
the day,
which is what
you're
happened to
getting
me.
pushed down.
Yeah,
Right.
always
So
pick a
I
morning
want
flight, especially from
first
Chicago.
flight out. Yes. So they ran, and actually they went to like through the TSA pre-check, and they talked to this lady, and they were like blah blah blah, and they were like just go.
Yeah,
so
good.
Hopefully they made it.
Yeah.
If you're listening, guys, I didn't tell you about this, but hopefully you made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what it is, but I always get to the security that's yelling.
Yeah.
Keep your socks on.
Yeah.
The one guy was kind of comedic, but like not really. He was
Yeah.
like, keep your socks on. I don't want to smell your feet.
yeah.
I just need to look at your shoes. But it was like all across,
So
so
loud.
loud. Like
Yeah.
you're just, I don't know.
That would be me.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it like that. Make sure everybody heard me. Maybe they have an accent and they can't hear me. I must speak louder. And then, of course, the lady right in front of me, she gets this real cool green pass. You know,
Wait,
they hand her
for what?
she scans her ticket and they look at her ID and they go, "Oh, you've been selected for blah blah blah," and she just gets to go right on fucking through. And I was like, "Cool, I fly all the time. Hopefully, no,
Oh. It's the corn.
Bastards.
It's because of the corn.
It was the corn.
They're like, no green pass for you.
They
We
were
need
like,
to see
"We
what's
need
in
to
this
watch
corn.
this
Yeah.
lady."
Why is she bringing corn? I've never even seen it this way.
Oh,
you mean in
so
its
funny.
husk? In a bag.
Do you know what corn husks remind me of? Every time I peel an ear of corn, I think of the Three Stooges. And they would eat, like, I don't know what it was on the show, if they were like tamales.
Interesting.
You know how tamales are like wrapped
Oh,
in the
yeah.
corn husk,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I just remember when I was a kid, an episode of The Three Musketeers where they were like taking
Three
it. And,
Stooges or Musketeers?
oh, God.
Can you spell that for me? As for Stooges.
S for Musketeers. Wait, did I say Three Stooges first? And then I said Three Musketeers later? What the fuck is wrong with me?
I think
It's
so.
one of those days.
Yeah, it is.
My brain is not functioning.
I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
Oh my God.
So who do you mean? Three Stooges?
Three Stooges.
Okay.
Anyways, they would take a bite and
All
it was
for
like
one.
through a corn husk. I don't know why.
Wow, I'll have to take a look.
I don't know. Don't
One
ask
for
me.
all.
Don't ask me what episode it is. They were like eating it
Interesting.
and it was like and they're like chewing on corn husks.
That's so weird.
Every time I peel an ear of corn, I think of that.
All right, we're gonna have to go back and look.
Random.
I have a quiz for you.
Oh God.
Which of the Three Stooges are you?
God. Three Stooges or Musketeers?
Stooges. It's a picture of the three. Let's say you're mixing it up with some big galoot. What's your signature move? An eye poke, a headbutt, an ear twist, or a nose hook?
Probably a nose twist.
A nose hook or an ear twist?
I don't even know.
We'll go with the
A
nose.
nose hook.
We all know self-expression is important. How do you show your feelings? Generally with a scowl, mostly by wheezing loudly. With passive indignation, by spinning around in circles and slapping your forehead. I'm going to go with wheezing. And this is from brainfall.com, just so we don't get in trouble.
God, this is so funny.
All right, it needs you to pick your favorite of which monkey. I'll have the chimp. Set me up with a baboon. Gorilla, please. Orangutan.
I think I like the chimp.
All right, we're
They
going
seem
with the
the
chimp.
nicest.
I'll have the chimp. All right.
Oh, my
Now that
stomach
you've
hurts.
picked one, what else would you like to pick?
What?
A scab?
Ew.
My weapon? My nose? Your nose?
My nose. My nose.
Your friends describe you as kind of an ass, and those are my friends. The creamy center,
What the fuck?
a worrier, or a clown.
A clown.
I wouldn't say that, but that's probably the best choice out of the four.
Yeah.
Relationships can be hit or miss. What do you do if it's a miss? Realize I won't miss it. I get hit a lot, so I welcome the occasional miss.
Oh, God.
Find another miss. Hope the miss doesn't hit back.
Hope the miss doesn't hit back.
This could be like anywhere.
Oh,
I don't even know.
God.
I don't even know.
know.
Okay. Would you consider yourself a leader or a follower? Ooh, that's kind of good for like retail, but what if everybody's walking in a circle? Depends. Is someone chasing me? I look behind me and no one is there, so I must be a leader. I ought to lead my fist right into your kisser, knucklehead.
I look behind me. There's no one there.
I must be a leader. 2 more questions.
Okay.
When was the last time you spent an extended amount of time with your family? It seems like it's been ages. Are you kidding me? I can't seem to get away from them.
I can't seem to get away from them.
Love you, Graham. If you were cast in a movie and couldn't be a stooge, what would you want to play? Ooh, a sports hero, a detective, a gangster, or this chick that doesn't have words.
Let me see who that is.
It looks like Judy Garland, but I don't think it is.
Cowgirl. Maybe
All right.
it's that Anne.
Oh, Annie, get your gun. All right, is that what
Annie,
you want to
get your
do?
Gun? Yeah.
Finally, what flavor pie is your favorite to
Oh,
smash
God.
into someone's face?
Cherry.
Coconut cream, a
Oh.
classic. Cherry, effective and gross looking. Pumpkin, dense and painful. Apple, the all-American choice for pastry repurposing.
Cherry.
Cherry it is. Let's see what stooge you are. Almost done. Get your result. You are Shemp. Didn't he
one
come
is
in
that?
later?
Which
Didn't
one?
he come in later?
There's 2 different ones.
Oh, okay.
There's the one that's bald with the curly hair. I'm the one with the part down the middle.
So it says, you're not the best known stooge, but that doesn't mean that we think anything less of you. The Three Stooges brother. Oh, he's a brother,
Yeah.
Shemp. Oh, are they all brothers?
They're brothers.
Oh, I don't know.
The
I've
Three
never
Stooges
watched
are
them.
brothers.
Oh, okay. Brought a singular.
Clearly, why you never seen them eat a corn cob
No,
or
I've
a
never,
corn
whatever
husk.
it was, yeah. Brought a singular creative energy that sparks tears of laughter.
Ooh.
Perfect.
That is me.
There you go. You are Shemp.
I'm Shemp.
S for Shemp, H for hemp, E for emp, B for mimp, and P for P.
Shemp.
Shemp. And there you have it, folks.
Oh, in case you were ever wondering what stooge I am.
Did we even talk about retail on this hour?
We did.
We did talk a lot about
We did.
it. Yeah, because we
Yeah.
talked about security
Yeah.
and flights, and yeah, we did.
And the lady yelling about the breast
yeah,
pads.
and seafood.
Seafood.
There we go. We did.
Stank ass seafood.
Man,
Sick.
thanks for hanging out with us again, guys.
Thanks, guys.
This is great.
Thanks for
So
listening to our
much
random
fun.
thoughts.
Man, how fun.
I have ADD a little bit.
Shemp says, have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye, guys.
Bye. This podcast is brought to you by NameTag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Drums, written and performed by my son, Steven. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.